Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests, faculty, family and friends, and most importantly, our graduates. Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristen Richards, and I'm one of the faculty here at Clackamas Community College in the nursing program. And I am delighted to welcome you all to the 2025 Clackamas Community College Nursing Pinning Ceremony. Woohoo! Today is a great day. But before we begin, let us pause to honor the land, the people, and the generations whose strength and stories make our celebration possible. It is with gratitude and respect that we share the following land and labor acknowledgements. We acknowledge that the Clackamas Community College campuses reside on the traditional homelands of the Clackamas, Cascade, and Tumwater bands of Chinooks, as well as the Tualatin and Pudding River bands of the Kalapuya and Northern Molalla people. They lived and prospered by maintaining strong cultural ties to the land and through wise management of resources. As signers of the Willamette Treaty of 1855, they were removed from their homelands to the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation, where they became members of the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde. Please join us in taking this opportunity to thank and honor the original caretakers of this land, their lives, and their descendants that live on as tribal members today, still carrying on the traditions and cultures of their ancestors. We acknowledge that the foundation and wealth of the United States were built upon the forced labor of enslaved African people, involuntary and trafficked indigenous labor, and the often exploited labor of immigrant, domestic, and farm workers. Their vital contributions and resilience, in spite of violence, terror tactics, and bloodshed, are integral to understanding our nation's past, present, and hope of what's to come. The prosperity many enjoy today is rooted in centuries of labor extracted under conditions of injustice, inequality, and ongoing systemic oppression. Acknowledging this truth is a step toward honoring those who were denied justice and toward creating a future that is more equitable, inclusive, and humane. Thank you. And now we turn our attention to our celebration, to our pinning ceremony. Nurses, yesterday you celebrated your academic achievements at the CCC commencement ceremony, and today we celebrate your entrance into the profession of nursing. The pinning ceremony not only honors your academic achievements, but also affirms the values that define our profession: compassion, advocacy, human dignity, and social justice. For those of you who don't know, the nursing pinning ceremony is a time-honored tradition whose roots date back to the Crusades, but the modern pinning ceremony finds its origins when Queen Victoria awarded Florence Nightingale the Red Cross of St. George, recognizing her extraordinary service as a military nurse during the Crimean War. Since that time, nurses around the world have been presented with pins as symbols marking their transition from students to professional nurses. The pins you earn today are not only a reflection of your hard work in that transition, but they are also a token of your inclusion into the global community of nurses, each dedicated to the protection, promotion, and optimization of health and human functioning, the prevention of injury and illness, facilitation of healing, and alleviation of suffering through compassionate presence and advocacy. But before we get to our pins and the pinning, I'd like to invite two of my colleagues, Christina Burt and Ginny Connell, to share some thoughts with you.
Hello. Congratulations, class of 2025 nursing graduates. You, dear ones, hold a very special place in my heart as my very first cohort as a nurse educator. The students know, and I am proud to share with all of you here, that I too sat on this stage. I thought they were going to be sitting on the stage. I sat here on this stage for my nursing pinning. As a proud graduate of this nursing program, I was very excited to come back as nursing faculty. There's 2 class activities that I created from scratch for this group of young minds, and I enjoy sharing them with my students. As I remind you of these activities, I want to encourage you to ponder the underlying lessons of each. The first activity is the birth simulation. Spending 13 years of my career in the birth center of a local hospital, it is no secret that I love everything about birth. I can't take students to L&D to watch a birth. Can you imagine 30 sets of eyes staring at you while you're giving birth? That would be a lot. Participating in the birth sim gave the students a glimpse of an area of nursing that some cannot wait to join, and others cannot want anything to do with. So what lesson did you learn from the birth sim? Hopefully, it is that every nurse needs to know a little bit about every type of nursing. And you never know until you get to see a little glimpse. You might find a type of nursing you never imagined you'd enjoy as your calling. The second activity is the medication administration escape game activity. I did not lock them in my classroom and require them to solve a puzzle in order to earn their escape, I promise. The activity broke down medication administration into chunks. No matter what type of nursing you choose, you need to know how to safely administer medications. I have to pull something out so you can look at it. Sorry. They know I love my page protectors, and so I was really excited when the speech got put in page protectors. I know. So why do I enjoy this activity so much? It gave you the opportunity to deconstruct the rites of medication administration and practice the elements of each. You may not realize that by participating in the activity, you delve deep into the whys of each of the rites. You earned a puzzle piece when you finished each of the tasks. You may or may not remember, but the pieces fit together in any way you chose. This was purposeful. I wanted you to have your first opportunity to define your own nursing practice, to put the pieces together in a way that made sense to you. I remind you of these activities because I want to leave you with these thoughts. Find the learning opportunity in every experience. Never stop learning. Take time and remember my favorite phrase, help me understand. I want to leave you with this poem that I had a little AI helped in writing. AI is a great tool as long as you use it responsibly. It captures my thoughts in a fun style. Oh, the nurses you'll be. You've studied and practiced with courage and care, asking big questions and always aware. Which intervention fits? What's the right call? It depends. You'll answer, that's nursing after all. Each day brought new lessons, some easy, some tough, but you gave it your all, and that was enough. The NCLEX is coming, a challenge, no doubt, but you've got the skills to figure it out. Remember, dear nurses, your learning's not done. It's always unfolding with each rising sun. Take every chance, stay curious and bright, keep growing and caring with all of your might. You're ready, you're able, you're steady and true, and I'm so proud to have taught all of you.
That's a tough speech to follow. Hello to our CCC colleagues, proud family and friends, and most importantly, our guests of honor, the graduating class of 2025. I'm truly honored to speak to you today, and I am deeply proud of each of you. No, wait, sorry, deeply proud of each of you. Student nurses. No, wait, we can drop the student now, right? So really, I'm proud of each of you so very much. So, how do we summarize 2 years in less than 4 minutes? I don't think you can. Besides, your journey to become a nurse started long before you stepped foot in this nursing program. First came this desire, the spark, the passion to pursue this challenging and rewarding profession. Then came the never-ending prereqs, the nail-biting suspense of applying to nursing school, and the celebratory success of getting into nursing school. And finally, just a mere 2 years of very rigorous classes, studying, exams, labs, assignments, and clinicals. It's been such a long journey already, and yet somehow it is just the beginning. All of you are well aware that your future work will be very challenging, but even in the midst of those challenges, I encourage you not to lose sight of your unique reason and motivation for becoming a nurse. Being connected to that spark and passion will help you get through even the toughest of days. As nurses, you will be entrusted with the sacred duty of advocating for those who cannot advocate for themselves, of comforting those who are in pain, and of empowering those who have lost hope. But please remember, compassionate care is not solely reserved for your patients. It extends to your colleagues, your community, your friends and family, and most importantly, yourselves. Finally, I do have one last bit of advice and wisdom for you all. This quote and concept is something that has guided my nursing practice, my teaching practice, and my personal life. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. As you begin your nursing careers, I hope you remember that patients will never forget how you made them feel. We have the power to make a lasting impact on the lives of those we serve and to spread compassion in a world that so desperately needs it. Congrats, class of 2025. And now I'd like to welcome two faculty, Tammy and Ashley, to the stage to read the bios and to hand out pins. And then if we could have the first row of graduates please step up. And we'll also invite the pinners to line up along this wall of the building. Thank you.
That's the kind of nurses that we bring up in this program. All right, Kate Anderson. Kate is being pinned by her partner, Ashley. Kate would like to thank her parents for taking the time to celebrate with her. Kate would also like to thank her kids, Callum and Archer, who've given her many smiles and hugs when things were tough. Lastly, Kate would like to thank her partner, Ash, for believing in her and knowing she could do this when she herself didn't know yet. She appreciates the sacrifice you made to make her dream a reality. Love you. Dairy Girls for Life. After graduation, Kate will be working as an OR circulator at Legacy Emmanuel. Carmen Bartunic is Carmen is being pinned by her mom, Amy. Carmen would like to thank her family for their love, support, and patience through this journey. She'd like to thank Jorge for making her laugh when she needed it most. She would like to thank her instructors for inspiring curiosity and fueling Carmen's passion for learning. After graduation, Carmen hopes to work in the ICU. Lauren Bergen. Lauren is being pinned by her mom, Marlene Bergen. Lauren would like to thank her mom and dad, Marlene and Dean, her siblings, Abby and Eric, and her boyfriend, Cody, her grandpa, Tom, and friends. After graduation, Lauren hopes to work in the emergency department. Danielle Brookshshire. Danielle is being pinned by her husband, Jordan Stipple. Danielle would like to thank her family for all their support and encouragement. She'd like to thank her husband for all the late-night study sessions, trying to learn medical words, and navigating the roller coaster of emotions. Lastly, she'd like to thank her friends for the unending support, laughs, and caffeine. Dairy Girls Forever. Dairy Girl! After graduation, Danielle is hoping to work in the emergency department. Cam Brown. Cam is being pinned by his partner, Carmen Brown. Cam would like to thank Carmen for supporting him through the program. After graduation, Cam hopes to work in the emergency department. Brittany Dvor. Brittany is being pinned by her oldest son, August Dvor. Brittany would like to thank her children, August, Oliver, and Emma, for inspiring her to pursue her dreams and for all the patience that they had over the last few years. She'd like to thank her mom, Lana, for her never-ending support and encouragement. Brittany would also like to thank the Dairy Girls for keeping her caffeinated and mostly sane for the last 2 years. She could not have gotten through this without your laughs and hugs, especially Jodie's. After graduation, Brittany will be working as a circulating nurse at Legacy Emmanuel Hospital in the main OR. Katrina De Hoyos. Katrina is being pinned by her best friend and soul sister, Shelby. Katrina would like to first and foremost thank God for bringing her through to this point. She would also like to thank her family, the Christich family, the Troxler family, and all of her friends who supported her. After graduation, Katrina will be working as a nurse at DaVita Dialysis. Her dream is to one day work as a critical care nurse in the ICU. Carmen DeMartis. Carmen is being pinned by her mom, Gail DeMartis. Carmen would like to thank her partner, Kelly, and their 2 kids, Riley and Hayden. Carmen would also like to thank her parents, friends, classmates, and nursing faculty. After graduation, Carmen hopes to work in the emergency department or oncology. Emma Duran Prudencio. Emma is being pinned by her mom, Elvia Prudencio. Emma wants to thank her family, friends, and her PCCO family who have supported her throughout this whole journey, especially her grandfather Carlos and grandmother Marina, who continue to look after her up in heaven. Most importantly, Emma would like to thank her dog, Benito, for all those nights he stayed up with Emma studying and for being Emma's personal patient, whom she practiced her head-to-toe assessments with. After graduation, Emma plans to work in the PICU, NICU, and PEDS OR.
Emma recibirá el broche por su mamá, Elvia Prudencio. Emma quiere agradecerle a su familia, amigos y su familia de PCCO, quienes la han apoyado durante todo este proceso, y en especial a su abuelo Carlos y abuela Marina, quienes continúan cuidándola desde el cielo. También quiere agradecerle a Benito, su perro, por todas esas noches que se desveló con ella estudiando y siendo su paciente personal, con quien practicó sus evaluaciones de pies a cabeza. Después de graduarse, Emma planea trabajar en la unidad de cuidados intensivos pediátricos o neonatales o el quirófano de pediatra.
Sarah Flake. Sarah is being pinned by her mom, Chris Heck. Sarah extends a heartfelt thanks to her family for their constant support, to her brother for always having her back, and to the close friends who encouraged her every step of the way. She's also grateful to her instructors and classmates for their inspiration and shared dedication to this path. She honors the memory of those no longer with us. Their presence continues to guide her, and they remain always in her heart. Sarah looks forward to beginning her nursing career with compassion, curiosity, and a deep commitment to serving others. Sabine Otier. Sabine is being pinned by her fiancé, Charles. Sabine would like to say thank you to her fiancé for his unwavering support, to her family and friends for their love and encouragement, and to the nursing faculty for challenging her and answering her never-ending questions. She would also like to say thanks to her dog Maya and her cats Bill and Turtle for making sure she never studied alone. After graduation, Sabine hopes to work for OHSU. Michaela Gibson. Michaela is being pinned by her dad, Jonathan Gibson. Michaela would like to thank her mom, dad, extended family, her partner, James, her friends near and far, and her PPMC emergency work family for all their love and support through her healthcare journey. She'd also like to give a big thank you to all the oncology nurses and providers at the Providence Franz Center for keeping her alive and inspiring her to enter the nursing profession. After graduation, Michaela hopes to work in the emergency department, critical care, or adolescent behavioral health. Cararissa Greer. Carissa is being pinned by her husband, Alex Greer. Carissa wants to express her heartfelt gratitude to her amazing husband and son for being her rock over the past 2 years. Their love, support, and strength have been her driving force, motivating her to reach the finish line. Cararissa would like to thank her wonderful family, friends, and their unwavering support every step of the way. Carissa's lucky to have such an amazing group of people by her side. She loves you all so much. After graduation, Cararissa plans to work in the emergency department. Blake Harmon. Blake is being pinned by his mom, Tammy Duke. Blake would like to thank his parents and grandparents for raising him into the young man he is today, with their constant encouragement, teaching, and support throughout his life. He's very grateful for them for giving him this opportunity, and he knows he could not have done it without them. Blake would also like to thank all his instructors for being so thoughtful and supportive. Nicholas Hayden. Nick is being pinned by his mom, Ann Hayden. Nick would like to thank AJ, his family and friends, Waffles, and the Dairy Girls. After graduation, Nick hopes to work in the emergency department. Emma Kinanan. Emma is being pinned by her mom, Anka Vladutz. Emma would like to thank her husband, Chad, for selflessly and lovingly being there for her each day, her parents and in-laws for loving, encouraging, and helping her manage life responsibilities, her siblings, friends for praying for her and supporting her, and her church community. Most of all, she'd like to thank God for loving and sustaining her. After graduation, Emma's ultimate goal is to work in the NICU, but she's also interested in the ICU and labor and delivery. Reena Klene. Reena is being pinned by her husband, Ben Klein. Reena would like to thank CCC Nursing, especially Beth and Kristen, for believing in her, Christina for coming in during the summer, and Julia and Becky rocking her clinical supervision. She'd like to thank her husband and kids. Their patience has meant the world to Reena. Reena would also like to thank Jesus, her family, friends, and support dog Shadow. After graduation, Reena's undecided on the unit she'd like to work in. Kimberly Lavoy. Kimberly's being pinned by her husband, Nick Lavoy. Kimberly would like to thank all her family and friends for supporting her through the ups and downs of nursing school. Your words of encouragement and continued prayers helped her get here today. Kimberly had the opportunity to go through this program with her sister, and she couldn't imagine it any other way. So a special thank you to her for support, encouragement, and shared tears. Thank you for joining her on this journey with all your love and support. Kimberly appreciates and loves you all. After graduation, Kimberly hopes to work in labor and delivery. Congratulations, class of 25, we did it. Jodie Lifer. Jodie is being pinned by her father, Thomas Lifer. Jodie'd like to thank her family, her boyfriend, for being the most supportive and encouraging force behind her drive through this program. She could not have completed this without their unwavering support. Jodie'd like to thank her best friends for all the support and encouragement. And a special thanks to the Dairy Girls for keeping her sane. She's forever thankful for all of you. After graduation, Jodie will be working in the emergency department. Tanya Mendoza. Tanya is being pinned by her mom, Maria Guadalupe Mendoza. Tanya would like to thank her family, especially her mom, dad, and siblings for their unconditional love and support. She also wants to thank her partner and friends for the encouragement that helped her get through nursing school, and to the Billy Odegaard Foundation for helping pursue her career goals. After graduation, Tanya hopes to work in her community as a public health nurse.
Tanya recibirá el broche por su mamá María Guadalupe Mendoza. Tanya quiere agradecer a su familia, especialmente a su mamá, papá, hermano y hermanas, por su amor y apoyo incondicional durante estos años. También quiere agradecer a su pareja y amigas por el apoyo emocional que la ayudó a superar los momentos difíciles en la escuela. Finalmente, un agradecimiento a la Fundación Billy Odegaard por ayudarla a lograr sus metas. Sin la ayuda y el ánimo y el amor de su familia y todas las personas que la acompañan hoy, habría sido imposible lograr su sueño de ser enfermera. Después de graduación, Tanya planea trabajar en su comunidad como enfermera de salud pública.
Emma Merrill. Emma is being pinned by her mom, Heather Hill. Emma would like to thank her friends and family. After graduation, Emma hopes to work in the med-surg unit or the emergency department. Caitlyn Moy. Caitlyn is being pinned by her husband, Brandon Moy. Katie would like to thank her husband, in-laws, parents, and siblings for supporting her throughout this journey. She wants to thank her kids, Emran and Brinley, for inspiring and motivating her. Katie also wants to thank her instructors for challenging her in ways that helped her grow and learn. After graduation, Katie hopes to work in the emergency department or psychiatric nursing. Rode Nunez Para. Rode is being pinned by her father, Elio. She's grateful for and would like to give many thanks to her parents, Elio and Egris, her brother Juan, and her partner Joshua for being so loving and supportive. She expresses immense gratitude for her father, who has shown her that with hard work, determination, and the love of God, nothing is impossible. She'd also like to thank her professors for their support, kindness, and wisdom. After graduation, Rode hopes to work in the intensive care unit.
Rode Elizabeth Núñez Parra recibirá el broche por su padre, Elio. Ella está agradecida y quisiera dar muchas gracias a sus padres, Elio y Egris, su hermano Juan y su pareja Joshua por su amor y respaldo. Ella expresa una inmensa gratitud hacia su padre, quien le ha mostrado que con esfuerzo, determinación y el amor de Dios, nada es imposible. También le gustaría agradecer a sus profesores por su apoyo, amabilidad y sabiduría. Después de graduarse, Rode espera trabajar en la unidad de cuidados intensivos.
Danielle Parazzu Garzon. Daniel is being pinned by his dad, Domingo Parazzu. Daniel would like to thank his family, specifically his dad, for a lifetime of support, his wife for the constant moral backing, and his friends for all the laughs. After graduation, Danielle hopes to work in emergency medicine and trauma.
Danielle recibirá el broche por su padre Domingo Peraza. Danielle quiere agradecer a su familia, especialmente a su padre, por toda una vida de apoyo, a su esposa por su constante apoyo moral y a sus amigos por todas las risas. Después de graduarse, Danielle espera trabajar en medicina de urgencias y traumatología.
Danielle Pard. Danielle is being pinned by her friend, Mickey Yiger. Danny would like to thank the outstanding professors of CCC, fellow classmates, as well as her family, friends, and coworkers. Danny would like to especially thank Andrea for inspiration and Mickey for all the encouraging barn chats. After graduation, Danny hopes to continue in the cardiology arena of healthcare. Yurixie Aguilar. Yurixie is being pinned by her mom, Alma Aguilar. Yurixie thanks her friends and family for their love, support, and encouragement. Your patience, understanding, and belief in her motivated her throughout the journey. This achievement is just as much yours as it is hers. After graduation, Yurixie will begin working as a nurse at the mother-baby unit.
Yurixie Preciado Aguilar recibirá el broche por su madre Alma Aguilar. Yurixie agradece a sus amigos y familiares por su amor, apoyo y aliento. Su paciencia, comprensión y fe en ella la motivaron durante todo el camino. Este logro es tanto de ustedes como de ella. Después de graduarse, Yurixie comenzará a trabajar como enfermera en la unidad de madre y bebé.
Tenley Rasmanson. Tenley is being pinned by her mom, Margaret McDonald. Tenley would like to thank her two boys, Ben and Nico, who were so patient while she did her homework. She'll always remember how supportive they were while they sat with her to open her scores for every midterm and every final. She would also like to thank her mom and Aunt Sandy for always believing in her. After graduation, Tenley will be working in telemetry at Portland Adventist. McKenzie Roberts. Mackenzie is being pinned by her grandmother, Betty Robinson, aka Grandma Kitty. Mackenzie would like to thank her amazing family, supportive partner, and her friends who cheered her along the way. Originally, Mackenzie attended her first year at Columbia Gorge Community College, but was fortunate enough to transfer to Clackamas and be closer to her family and gain a better learning experience. After graduation, Mackenzie will be starting her residency at Portland Providence Medical Center's ICU this August. Vivana Zarita. Viviana is being pinned by her father, Ernesto Zarita. Viviana would like to thank all her family and friends, especially her parents, for their unconditional love, support, and encouragement. She's very grateful to all of the amazing nursing and clinical instructors for their guidance, support, and belief in her throughout nursing school. Thank you to everyone who supported her on this journey to becoming a nurse. She wouldn't be where she is today without each and every one of you. After graduation, Vivana hopes to work in pediatrics.
Vivana Zarita recibirá el broche por su padre Ernesto Zarita. Viviana desea agradecer a toda su familia y amigos, especialmente a sus padres, por su amor incondicional, su apoyo y su constante ánimo. Está muy agradecida con todos los increíbles instructores de enfermería y clínicos por su guía, apoyo y por creer en ella a lo largo de la carrera de enfermería. Gracias a todos los que la han apoyado en este camino para convertirse en enfermera. Ella no estaría donde está hoy sin cada uno de ustedes. Después de graduarse, Viviana estará trabajando en pediatría.
That concludes our pinning ceremony bios. And at this time, I'd like to invite up my colleague and friend, Becky, to come up and share a few thoughts with you.
Either one. Okay. Greetings. Or greetings? Okay. Wow. This is what it means to have achieved a dream. Graduates, I am so honored to be here today, looking at each and every one of you. I know I'm not supposed to have favorites, but this class is a very special class to me, and will always be so. There's going to be some scaffolding in here in this speech. You're going to hear some common themes that you may have already heard a little bit already, but they're worth repeating. This is the first group that I've had the honor of accompanying from day one of nursing school all the way to this very moment. Pinned, proud, and poised. Let's just take a minute to marinate in the reality of what has just happened. Because the minute we start celebrating, there's going to be a new goalpost within your sights. So right now, until I'm done, this is just pure achievement. No stress, no worry, no anxiety, just the feeling of having accomplished a future version of yourself, dreamed up and conjured by a previous version of yourself. This is how you do it. Friends and family, thank you for accompanying your loved ones through all the highs and lows of this journey. You're not only pinned, but you all have been transformed. Graduates, we were LARPing not that long ago. We were doing live action role play. And here we are in live action nursing IRL. It has happened, the future is now. Along the way, you've presented your policy projects, you did your HESI exit test, you've had countless hundreds of hours of studying, EAQs, clinical rotations, labs, simulations, and I would argue that all of those projects taught you something very valuable about how to be a nurse, what it means to be a nurse. I went into nursing education because my passion is wanting to impart something to individuals who can stay a nurse, who can keep saying yes to this profession. Because as you know, this career is very demanding. It is going to ask a lot of you. Take a moment just to think about all of the trials and tribulations that you have gone through to be here at this moment. There has been doubt. There's been disappointments. There's been side maneuvers. It hasn't always been a direct line, and the road has been bumpy for many people. And so this is the profession that you're entering. So how do we keep saying yes to such a demanding career? And this is one final thought exercise that I would like to go through with all of you guys today. Some things to consider. Let's pretend that this is your order. One fulfilling career in nursing administered intermittently/continuously over a lifetime. Here's some recommended supplies to have on hand. 2 extended release doses of compassion, divided equally. 1 part for others, 1 part for yourself. 1 cosmic gram of advocacy, divide as needed. We already know you're going to be giving 110% to your patients, to your families, to your unit, to your organization, and just when you feel like you've got a minute to exhale, you're going to be asked to give more. Join a committee. Write to a congressperson. Be charge nurse. Precept nursing students. You're going to be asked for a lot. My advice is to give yourself permission to take on 1 issue at a time, without guilt, without explanation. It's enough to know in your heart what you have to give. Other supplies. Sleep. Amount is variable. You may be tempted to take the lowest dose within the safe range in order to achieve a therapeutic response. I would advocate for mid-range to high dose. Caffeine. Amount also variable. However, I do recommend to take the lowest dose in order to achieve a therapeutic effect. Discontinue at the first signs of SVT. This might be the most important ingredient in this equation, and that is purpose. Your supply should be continual, titrated to effect according to your own inner compass. Allow your purpose to change over time. Allow it to evolve, but always let it be your guiding light, especially when you're going through the trenches. But here is the real question that I want us to consider. How can you safely administer a meaningful and sustainable nursing career over a lifetime in such a demanding career without running out of your supply, without accidentally overdosing on self-neglect? In nursing school, you learn to honor the many, many rights of medication administration. When you were doing high-risk calculations, you looked to a friend for a second opinion. Before you did something for the first time, you got checked off by an expert. But have you thought about how to do that with your own emotional range? In this thought exercise, you're the nurse, you're the patient, and you're also the medication. You're everything. Uh-oh. Sorry, lost my card. So, how do we do this? The availability of your supply is going to change over time. You have to monitor for adverse effects. You're going to need to monitor for signs of burnout and compassion fatigue, irritability, because life is going to give you stat orders of grief, change, joy, all kinds of things that you're going to need to be monitoring for. And when that happens, that is your time pause and recalculate. So here is your final order. Self-care, 1 bespoke, everlasting unit. Dose, adjust to your own needs without explanation or justification. It's enough to know what your needs are. Frequency, cue shift, cue day, cue life. Monitor for signs of gratitude, awe, and purpose. Double down if you ever forget that you are more than your badge. Graduates, you are entering a beautiful profession, but it is also very messy. Meet it with a heart made whole by love, joy, and your own sense of purpose. Advocate fiercely, laugh loudly, and don't forget to check your math. Congratulations, everyone. I'm so proud of you. I would like to invite Kristen back up to the stage for our pledge.
All right, you guys are pinned. Congratulations. We've now come to the part of the ceremony where we recite the nursing pledge, the modern nursing pledge. So I would like to invite our graduate nurses and any other nurse in the room to stand up to recite the pledge with us. And you can follow along. It's in the center section of our program. Sorry, I forgot the word to that for a second. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. I pledge myself here in the presence of this assembly to practice my profession with integrity. I will endeavor to maintain and elevate the standard of nursing, both as an science and as an art. I wholeheartedly recognize the importance of high standards of care and of personal accountability. I devote myself to the healing, protection, and welfare of those committed to my care. I will set duty to work for the betterment of health and communities in which I live and work. I will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping and will respect the privacy of medical information. I will act with compassion in ethical matters. I will not knowingly administer any harmful substance. I will commit to interdisciplinary collaboration and lifelong learning. I fully acknowledge the seriousness of the responsibility I expect from my calling and the significance of this pledge that I take today. I'm trying to turn them on. There's too many remotes. Our graduates all have candles to represent the flame of Florence. All right. You look great. Guys, you can go ahead and be seated. We're almost done. As we come to the close of today's ceremony, I want to offer you all a final reflection. The theme of 2025's Nurses Week, which was just last month, was the power of nurses. And that power is something each of you carries forward into your lives and professional practice. The power of nurses changes lives. Sometimes the changes you can see, but more often in ways you'll never fully know. To all the family and friends here, thank you. Thank you so much for showing up today, but also, as told in the stories our graduates shared, for being the support for our graduates all along the way. They couldn't have done it without you. Graduates, nurses, I'd like to end our journey together with a final grounding exercise. You know what to do. Take a deep breath in. And as you take that deep breath breath in, feel your feet rounded beneath you, supported by your hard work, the knowledge you've gained, and the growth you've experienced. Let that breath out. And as you breathe out, let go of the stress of the last 2 years. There are no more due dates and no more assignments. Take another deep breath in. And as you take that breath in, breathe in confidence, purpose, and pride. Let's hold on to that pride. Let that breath out. You're ready. Class of 2025, congratulations. You carry the power of nurses into a world that needs you. All of us, every one of us in this room, are so proud. Won't you all join me in celebrating these graduates?